Tonight, in our coverage, a Toronto school is under scrutiny for encouraging its students to join the Israeli military. Assalamu alaikum and good evening. This is Muslim News Canada on Muslim Network TV. I'm Elia Batul. A major security breach has rocked the Trump administration after top officials accidentally added the Atlantic editor Jeffrey Goldberg to a private Signal chat. The group was discussing secret U.S. military strikes in Yemen. Goldberg revealed he was tipped off 2 hours before U.S. bombs hit Houthi targets on March 15th. He says Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth texted him the war plan, and he was pulled into a chat with 18 senior officials. He says it seems Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and National Security Advisor Michael Waltz were all present. Goldberg immediately alerted the White House and exited the chat, calling it a shocking breach. The Trump administration has confirmed the chat was real and blamed an inadvertent addition. President Trump denies knowing about it, dismissing The Atlantic as what he calls a failing magazine. Critics, including Senator Chris Coons, are demanding a full investigation. Experts say discussing classified military plans on a private messaging app and including a journalist may violate national security and public record rules. At least 26 Palestinians have been killed today in a new wave of Israeli airstrikes across the Gaza Strip. The atrocities come as Israel continues to block aid crossings into Gaza since early March. 10 people have died in Khan Yunis after Israeli jets struck 3 tents sheltering displaced families. Another person was killed in a separate strike west of the city. In central Gaza's Burij refugee camp, 8 members of the same family have been killed in their home. 4 more died in Gaza City's Sabra neighborhood, and 3 others were in Beit Lahia. These deadly strikes follow Israel's intensified aerial campaign that began on March 18th. Since then, over 730 Palestinians have been killed and nearly 1,200 injured. A United Nations official has condemned Israel's unrelenting bombardment, calling it a bloody stain on our collective conscience. The Palestine Red Crescent says 9 of its team members remain missing for a 3rd day after a rescue mission in Rafah. Meanwhile, the UN is relocating 1/3 of its staff from Gaza after the organization's compound in Deir al-Balah was hit by an Israeli tank shell. The attack killed a Bulgarian employee and injured 6 others. Tensions are rising over the killing of Al Jazeera journalist Hussam Shabat in Gaza and the arrest of filmmaker Hamdan Balal in the West Bank. Israeli attacks today have also killed 4 people in Syria's Daraa province. Palestinian officials say more than 60,000 civilians have been killed since October 7th. More than 103,408 have been injured. Hamdan Balal, Palestinian co-director of the Oscar-winning documentary No Other Land, has been released following his detention by Israeli forces. Balal was arrested after being attacked by Israeli settlers in the occupied West Bank. Balal, who has visible bruises and blood on his clothes upon release, reports being blindfolded, beaten, and held overnight in a cold room at a military base. Human rights lawyer Leah Semel, representing Balal and 2 others arrested, confirms they received minimal medical care. The men faced accusations of throwing stones at a settler, allegations they deny. The attack occurred yesterday evening in the village of Susia, when armed settlers targeted residents breaking their fast. Israeli soldiers reportedly arrived and pointed weapons at Palestinians, facilitating the continued settler violence. Human rights group Amnesty International has demanded accountability for the attackers, stressing that those responsible should face consequences. Local activists, including co-director Bessel Edra, report increased violence by settlers and forces following the documentary's international recognition. No Other Land documents the destruction of a Palestinian village and has won international acclaim since premiering at the Berlin Film Festival last year. Since then, it has also faced backlash from pro-Zionist supporters. A Toronto school is under scrutiny for allegedly encouraging students to join the Israeli military. Ben Brown, a 20-year-old from Toronto, is in a coma after being injured while serving in the Israeli army. He studied at Bnei Akiva's Orchaim High School. The school is now facing calls to lose its charitable status. Critics say the school may have violated Canada's Foreign Enlistment Act, which bans recruiting for foreign militaries on Canadian soil. Brown's brother, Zach, also served in the Israeli army and openly discussed arrest operations and checkpoints in occupied Palestinian territory. A podcast reveals that up to a quarter of Zach's classmates joined the Israeli army. The school celebrates Israeli military service, invites Israeli soldiers to speak, and features alumni who served in the military on its website. It even ran fundraisers for injured Israeli soldiers. Bnei Akiva schools have received millions in federal grants and tax-deductible donations. This comes as Canada Revenue Agency rules say supporting a foreign military is not a charitable act. Activists now want a police probe into possible war crimes and Canada Revenue Agency to audit the school's finances. This year's Al-Quds rally saw a huge turnout in downtown Toronto. An estimated 2,000 demonstrators took part, joining a global movement that opposes Israeli policies in Gaza and the West Bank. The peaceful crowd called for justice and freedom for Palestinians living under Israeli occupation. There were growing calls to ban the event. However, organizers called the march their right to speak out against oppression and apartheid. Toronto police increased their presence. A small group of pro-Israel counter-protesters stood nearby, waving flags and playing music. Some confrontations took place, but demonstrators say the event was mostly peaceful. A journalist from a Jewish outlet reported being followed, though no physical violence was reported. Participants say they are unfairly targeted and misrepresented in the media. For them, Al-Quds Day every year remains a vital show of solidarity with the Palestinian people and their right to self-determination. In a significant development, the University of Guelph has announced that it will not host the Israeli Defense Forces soldier who was previously scheduled to speak on campus as part of a tour. The decision follows a robust advocacy campaign led by the National Council of Canadian Muslims, which initiated a letter-writing effort urging the university to reconsider the event. The soldier in question was advertised as having fought back in Gaza following October 7th. The subsequent military actions in Gaza have drawn international scrutiny. The International Court of Justice acknowledges the plausibility of genocide and is currently investigating the matter. The University of Guelph has stated that the event was not officially booked on campus. However, the announcement of the soldier's speaking tour has sparked considerable controversy and concerns among students and advocacy groups. The National Council of Canadian Muslims and other concerned parties have expressed their appreciation for the university's responsiveness to their concerns. And now for some special news for those living in the GTA, there is an event taking place before Eid. So mark your calendars and be sure to attend with your family, neighbors, and friends. The GTA Ramadan Festival presents Jashan-e Chandrat, a special weekend of pre-Eid celebrations, special highlights for the first time in the GTA. Enjoy a soul-stirring live Sufi concert, plus free gift hampers for the first 200 families, 3,000 free giveaways. And hold your breath, there is a free diamond ring in the mix as well. The event will be open from 12 noon to Sahur, with loads of sensational halal delicacies to enjoy, a special children's segment called the Kids Story Time, and a Naat and Nasheed competition for you to showcase your talent. And remember, entry is free on both days, so see you there inshallah. Note the place and time on your screens. The event will be held on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, March 28th, 29th, and 30th, 2025 at Red Rose Convention Center, Mississauga. That's all from our Toronto studios. Thank you for watching Muslim News Canada. We are a community channel dedicated to bringing you stories you can trust. Please like, share, and subscribe to our content. You can also comment to let us know what you think of our coverage. You can donate now by visiting muslimnetwork.tv/donate. For more content, keep watching Muslim Network TV.